Hey guys, how you doing tonight? We're gonna go with a little bit lower production quality tonight because I did have some stuff I wanted to talk about, but I don't have a whole bunch of time tonight. So I wanted to share, we had a pretty crazy day in the market, actually saw some significant red. We're seeing Nvidia drop by 3%, Meta by 1.5%, Amazon by 3%. Amazon is starting to look pretty attractive to me, honestly, because I think they've been due for a while. I want to look at quantum stocks. So we're going to look at a bunch of different quantum tickers today. We're going to look at Big Bear AI. Big Bear AI had an amazing day, and this quantum rally is just continuing. So it's really a sight to behold. So again, for the second day in a row, B2Q going into the Nasdaq has a 11% gain. Rigetti 10%. Yesterday, BTQ actually had a 33% gain. So it's just getting ready to get into the NASDAQ. And Rigetti, I believe, was at $32 a share today. And every time I try to think, okay, this is the top, and I try to hedge, it just keeps going. And we really haven't had that executive order yet. And it's just regarding quantum. So it's just hard to time the top on this. And it does feel like it would be healthy for these stocks to pull back a little bit or chill out. But here we go again. IonQ at $75 a share. Unbelievable price action. Some additional stocks that had amazing days. So I think Ondas at one point was $8. Big Bear was above $8. And we had some intraday market volatility. We'll talk about this a little bit as well. Joby and Archer had great days. And SoundHound, I believe, was at $19. So we're going to look at those charts. Veritone was up in the middle sixes. Just a crazy, crazy day. So Big Bear had the collaboration here with SMX to enhance the United States Navy's maritime awareness. And Big Bear will deploy its artificial intelligence and orchestration technologies in support of the U.S. Naval Forces Southern Command. Then we saw from IonQ that we had this quantum internet milestone where they demonstrated quantum frequency conversion to telecom wavelength. So this quote here from, I believe, the CEO: "I am thrilled to announce that we have taken an important step to enabling the quantum internet working closely with AFRL. We are the first quantum company to demonstrate the ability to convert visible signals to telecom wavelengths." So very impressive. So just quick recap, Big Bear, we've been waiting on Big Bear to get a contract for a while, and the cult-like following around Big Bear, which is pretty amazing to see because I've been in Big Bear since it was like $2 or $3 a share, and retail investors have really been getting excited about Big Bear. Even after the last earnings, finally we're seeing a new contract here. And with IonQ, we're seeing tech advance after tech advance. And this has helped propelling the quantum sector forward. The stock market today fell after Powell flagged Fed's challenge of highly valued stocks. So U.S. stocks fell on Tuesday, pulling back from a record-setting streak as Fed Chair Jerome Powell signaled the central bank would proceed cautiously on further rate cuts. So potentially kind of planting the seed that maybe the rate cut cycle that we're in isn't so sure. And of course, we saw sell-off. We saw the NASDAQ was down 1%, the S&P down 0.5%. So a very red day with a lot of green stocks that we follow. And one of the reasons why eVTOL was green today is Archer has been doing successful flights. So the Midnight aircraft successfully completed its highest altitude flight to date, reaching altitudes of 7,000 feet. And I was checking out the subreddit for Archer, and it looks like today they did another one at 6,000 feet. So as they continue to do successful test flights, investors get a little bit more excited. So we're going to look at now all the stock charts, and we're going to be out of here in a record amount of time. So Veritone has been on an amazing rally, and it's captured this $6 figure. And I just want to look back really at 1 year and kind of see where we are. So we've definitely moved past this previous spot of resistance. And one thing to keep in mind with Veritone is we've had this kind of straight up line before and met a resistance and got sent back down pretty significantly around $8. So the real test for Veritone, if it's to continue this rally, is can it push through $8? Then the next stop would be about 1082, and there was a little bit of a jump back here, but I'm eyeing about $8 and $10 as whole numbers for Veritone if the rally is to continue. Now, the further you go back on the chart, the more you see that Veritone was trading at higher valuations. The stock price was much higher. So the upside here is quite interesting. And we also had the price target upgrade from, I believe, B. Riley for $26 a share for the stock. So it remains very interesting. And I am just holding shares at this point, no leverage. Okay, Archer. So Archer in the last year or so, since it became a Reddit favorite and kind of a meme stock, has liked to be above $10 a share. We can see a lot of the price history is above $10. Recently, we've had some pullback and we recaptured 10, which is a psychological level for Archer, but also a level where previously Archer has made runs up to 13 and a half, almost $14. Now, as this sector, eVTOL, matures, the stock in the pullback may be less and less. So if we see, and I know I'm not making sense when I say that, but if we look at this blue line here, there is pretty much a consistent uptrend on this stock. So when you could purchase on the pullback around $6 in March and April, the pullback more recently was around $8. And we had some pretty significant dips in the QQQ today. Can't type QQQ. So if we just look at minute candles for today, we had some dumping of tech stocks in the middle of the day because of Jerome Powell and different things that were happening macroeconomically. So Archer to post this gain in not necessarily a favorable tech day is pretty bullish. Okay, Big Bear. So I know a lot of you are in Big Bear. I've been in Big Bear for a long time, and we're seeing a pretty significant candle today. And it was actually even better until the Jerome Powell stuff. So what is ahead for Big Bear if it's to continue its bullishness? So 834, it did double top and post a lower high here. We were going up to retest that, and some cold water was thrown on the rally. If we go back even further, 1043, and we'd have to go all the way back to IPO at $16 a share. So can Big Bear keep this momentum? They got a contract. Can they announce another contract, another partnership? Looks like investors are excited to invest in Big Bear at this point in time, and they are holding the uptrend. All right, Rigetti. So Rigetti is just like going straight up. I had someone on the Discord say today, I'm shorting it at 32, and it's just been a really hard top to call because we are in price discovery, which means we haven't really found a real top yet for these stocks. We haven't seen real support levels. We've seen shallow pullbacks, and the dip has been bought immediately as quantum exuberance has really come in full force here. So it's truly unbelievable as a Rigetti investor to see 10% day after 10% day after 10% day. But I want to remind all of you out there, the naysayers, I see them on the boards, I see them in my comments. There's one Rigetti. That's it. There's one NVIDIA. There's one Rigetti. Just remember that. There's one. And they're full stack foundry for quantum computing. And people are making their position. It looks like people are making their positions even at absurd valuations. And I'm going to concede that the valuation are absurd on the quantum stocks, but the market is forward looking. And this is a sector that is seeing technological progress and rapid growth. Okay, D-Wave, similar story, similar chart. I have even personally purchased puts, protective puts on D-Wave expiring this week and next week because I believe there's going to be a pullback. but today it posted new all-time highs. And I had flagged yesterday on the channel that it posted a lower high. Well, it came and it posted a higher high today. So D-Wave continues its rally, and we are in price discovery, which means we don't know where it's going to go from here. IonQ, similar story. Now we're at $75 a share. I gave my price target earlier this year of $100 a share. It looks like we're marching up there. And of all the quantum stocks, with quantum networking, with their acquisitions, with their balance sheet, IonQ has a great argument to be the most expensive quantum stock. And it's possible that this is just the beginning of a rally for them, especially if they're to make significant tech breakthroughs, create different partnerships. Who knows? The sky is literally the limit for IonQ. So we are still in price discovery. We still don't know where we're going to hit that hard rejection. We know that government shutdown is looming. It's very hard to say. Now, LAES, moving on to a stock that I know a lot of you are in, there has been some excitement in adjacent to the quantum trade where LAES has caught a bid up to 479 and it's got rejected and it's sitting down now at 388. And I sent a tinfoil hat to the Discord today and I said, look at those bounces off 388. It's conspiracy 388, more supportive than my ex-girlfriend. Like seriously, like why does 388 come into play so much with LAES? But it held above, which is good, and in post it's at $4 a share. If a 4 is in front of LAES, that's great because this is a play on a play. This is a play on quantum computing, quantum resistant hardware, and it's a play on essentially one deviation of the future. So this is a play for protecting against quantum attacks, and we're not yet in a quantum world. So very interesting to see the price action. And as David, I believe, said in the Discord today, David USA, patience is going to be required on this one. It might have been Doc Quantum. I'm not exactly sure who said it. So shout out to David and Doc, both of you, awesome contributors on the Discord. But we are going to need to be patient to see this play out. But I also could see continued bullish price action because of the sector tailwinds for quantum. Now, this is very volatile. It's been moved around a lot. If we look at the 5-minute candles, it's been kind of ugly and dumpy, but also it's been very bullish as well. So keep LAES on your radar. And finally, SOUN today, before it made its relatively recent nice high, right? So $19 a share. We'd have to go back pretty far to find when this stock was trading at $19 a share the last time. It blew past some of the supports from back here. So we're starting to get into kind of the upper stratosphere of SoundHound. And a subscriber on the channel yesterday asked me about SoundHound. I have SoundHound in multiple accounts. I never stopped believing in this company. I believe that they are going to continue to be a benefactor of the AI race, and their moat is my main concern, but I'm loving the price action lately. It's holding the uptrend. It does look to be in breakout territory. I think the candles would have been more bullish today, and the rally would have been more bullish if we didn't have the pullback of wider tech. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Wanted to jump on for a low production, but deliver a lot of information like usual. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.